If you ain't part of the solution, you part of the what? This is where it all goes down. I don't know if y'all can see that river. But, had John Brown, and he was a white abolitionist right around here. Lived right around here. And take y'all on a little field trip. And he went across that river right there. On the other side was the armory. And they took over the armory, about 50 slaves and maybe 100 white men. So if you ain't part of the solution, you part of the what? They had enough white men and enough black men to take that town over, take the armory over, and the army was occupying the town at the time. So in order to take the armory over from a town that's occupied by the army, you imagine the fury that they was coming with and the strategies they were coming with. One thing some people forgot is, if you ain't part of the solution, you part of the what? So some good old boys and some slaves got together and took over the town. Well, how about that? And they got all the rifles and everything in that little town. But they approached it strategically, I'm sure. But the key word is, if you ain't part of the solution, you're part of the what? So everybody don't speak for everybody, you know. And so it's like, do you want to be with me or against me? If you with me, let's ride. And if you against me, let's roll. Let's rock. Especially if I got everybody with me. So if you ain't part of the solution, you part of the what? Hold up. Everybody don't speak for everybody, you know. Everybody don't speak on behalf of everybody. Martin Luther King said it. And this, you can look it up. He said, my dream has become a nightmare. He said, we was on a roll for a little while. But you take 2 steps forward, take 2 steps back, and then do the hokey pokey. They did the hokey dokey. But it's still been going on. And the struggle still remains the same. Only one thing though. If you ain't part of the solution, you're part of the what? Let's ride. You know? It's as many, there are as many brothers and sisters out there that all want the same thing by any means necessary. So let's ride. We need to just use our votes, which we don't do. We don't use our votes. So the Trumpism is they don't need our votes. He got enough swag to do it on his own. And then he got the people that are part of the problem backing him. And then you have people who are orientated from birth to either be a Republican or a Democrat. Or so it's like, are you conservative? Yeah, I'm kind of conservative. I turn the lights off when I leave, you know. Are you liberal? You're damn right I'm liberal. So I'm both, you know what I'm saying? But are you doing anything to help us, or because you ain't part of the, you must be part of the you ain't part of the solution, so you must be the what? I'm just saying. I can't speak on behalf of everybody, you know. There's some shit out here that I don't like personally, you know. Some reason I know that I got a thing about them little statues that used to be black, and they like the little jockey holding the reins for your horse. I got a thing about that. I used to kick them over when I was younger, and then And then instead of becoming a voice of the people, I become a voice of the incarcerated. Become a voice that's in solitary because I won't shut up. And what good is that doing anybody? Except for the people that's getting a kick out of it because they part of the what? Hold up. Wake up. That's all I'm saying. Wake up. Sometimes you might need a hearing aid. Hearing aid. You know, now let me get right up in your ear. That's what a hearing aid is for. Get right up in your ear. Can you hear me now? That's what a hearing aid is for. I'm just saying. If you ain't part of the problem, I mean, you know you are part of the problem if you ain't part of the solution. Simple as that. So if John Brown, a white man, can get 50 other white men together, along with 50 of their buddies who just happen to be slaves, and they can all get together, then I'm just saying, let's ride. Because if you ain't part of the solution, you part of the what? Hold up. We got votes. Don't forget. We got votes and we ain't using them. And we need to use them votes to put in the people who are going to speak up on our behalf, and our behalf would be the majority. Not just because I got a thing about them little jockeys, you know. I don't want to start a protest and try to get the jockey factory abolished. No, I'm trying to get our people some places they can afford, places they can have new development in, places they're not using. They get our kids out of the detention centers. And they can be isolated. They can be in. There's plenty of schools that are empty. There's plenty of places that we have standing there not being used that they can use, and they can isolate them for 14 days and send them home, or have them isolate from home, however they want to carry it. I'm sure they'll have enough sense to test everybody and then let them out. And that's the thing. That's the bottom line. Because Dynamite Lightning said, if you ain't part of the solution, you part of the what?